Hello friends, this is Bindu Kumar here. Let's solve this question. Determine the arithmetic progression whose third term is 16 and the seventh term exceeds the fifth term by 12. So here we have to find out what is the arithmetic progression. Now, what exactly means by that? What do we have to find out? An arithmetic progression usually means numbers that are defined such as A1, A2, A3 and so on, where there is a common difference D, where D equals A3 minus A2, or it will also be equal to A2 minus A1. And in an arithmetic progression, the nth term can be identified by A plus n minus 1 into D formula. Right? So when they say determine the arithmetic progression, what we really have to do is we have to find out the first three, or at least let's say four numbers, right? So let's for this question we will let's find out the first four terms, right? So we have to find out what is the value of A1, A2, A3 and maybe A4 also. Okay, now let's look at the rest of the question. They're saying the third term is 16. So you see the value of A3 is already given. The third term is 16. And they've also given us some other information. The seventh term exceeds the fifth term by 12. So they have not given us the exact value of the seventh term and the fifth term. However, they have given us the relationship between them. Okay, so we have A5, we have A6, and we also have A7. What has been said is A of 3 equal to 16 and the seventh term, which is A of 7, exceeds the fifth term by 12. It means A of 7 is greater than the fifth term by a factor of 12. Okay, so A of 7 exceeds the fifth term. It is greater than A5 by a value of 12 or by a factor of 12. Okay, so these two are the equations that that are given to us, right? So using this we have to find out what is A1, what is A2, what is A3 and what is A4. A3 is something that we already have, so we just have to find A1, A2 and A4. Okay, so let's get started. So for this we will make use of this equation A of n equals A plus n minus 1 into D. Let's first start with A of 7. So A of 7 equals A 1 plus n minus 1 into D. A of 7 equals, we do not know the value of A1, so I will write it as is, plus the value of n is 7 minus 1 into D. So this gives us A of 7 equals A1 plus 6D. Okay, now it's not possible to solve this problem any further or solve this equation any further. So we will keep it as is. Let's write a similar formula for A5. A5 equals A1 plus n minus 1 into D. A5 equals A1 plus, here the value of n is 5 minus 1 into D. A of 5 equals A1 plus 4D. Again, it is not possible to solve this equation any further, so we will stop here. Now let's look at the second equation that we got, which is A7 equals A5 plus A12. Let's write this formula here. A7 equals A5 plus 12. This is what has been given in the question. Now here we know the value of A7, which is A1 plus 60. We also know the value of A5, which is A1 plus 40. So let's do the substitution of these values in the second equation that we wrote. So here I can write A1 plus 6D equals A1 plus 4D, and remember there is a 12 as well, so I'll write plus 12. Now what we have done, we have simply replaced the value of A7 and A5 with the value that we got in the previous exercise or in the previous step. Now let's simplify this further. A1 plus 60 equals A1 plus 4D plus 12. Now I will keep D on one side and move everything on the other side. So what I would like to do is, we'll write A1 plus 6D equals A1 plus 4D plus 12. First I want to remove this A1, so I will do a minus A1. Now whatever we do on the left hand side of the equation should be repeated on the right hand side of the equation. Okay, so simplifying this, we get plus A1 and minus A1 cancel out each other. Similarly, plus A1 and minus A1 cancel out each other here as well. So we get 6D equals 4D plus 12. Now let's continue writing in the next column. 6D equal to 4D plus 12. Now here I'll write 6D and 4D plus 12. I want to remove the 4D, so I'll add a minus 4D. I'll repeat the same on the left hand side of the equation. We get 2D equals 4D and 4D cancel out each other, 12. So D equals, again let's balance the equation actually. So divide by 2. I'll repeat the same step on the right hand side. So we get 2 divided by 2 equal to 1, and then we get 12 divided by 2, which is equal to 6. So we get the value of 6. Okay, so we have achieved the first milestone, which is we have identified the value of D. Now using D, it is possible to calculate the rest of the terms. Let's start with A3, because the value of A3 was given as 16 in the question itself. So using this, we can easily calculate the value of A2. How do we do that? We know the common difference D is A of n plus 1 minus A of n. For example, A of 3 minus A of 2. So now we have the value of D. D is 6 equals the value of A3 is 16 minus the value of A2 is unknown. Now let's balance this equation. So I'll write 6 equals 16 minus A2. We will add plus A2 here. We'll add plus A2 on the left hand side as well to balance it. So minus A2 plus A2 cancel out each other. We have 6 plus A2 equal to 16. Again, balancing this further, we get A2, or let me write it again. So write 6 plus A2 equal to 16. I want to remove the 6, so I'll add a minus 6. I'll repeat on the right hand side as well. So plus 6 and minus 6 cancel out each other. We get A2 equal to 16 minus 6, which is equal to 10. So now we have found out the value of A2 using the value of D and using the value of A3. Similarly, let's find out the value of A1. So again, we can use the formula D equal to A2 minus A1 because the common difference should be the same between all the consecutive terms. The value of D is 6 equals the value of A2 we just identified as 10 minus A1. So here again we will balance the equation. 6 equals 10 minus A1. I'll add a plus A1 here and a plus A1 here. Minus A1 plus A1 cancel out each other. We have 6 plus A1 equal to 10. Again 6 plus A1 equal to 10. We'll do a minus 6 here and a minus 6 here as well. Plus 6 minus 6 cancel out each other. We get A1 equal to 4. So now we have the values A1, A2, A3. Let's find out one more. So which is D equals A4 minus A3. We have the value of D equal to 6. A4 is unknown and the value of A3 is 16. Right? So here we will balance it. So we'll add a plus 16 here. We'll add a plus 16 on the other side as well. Minus 16 plus 16 cancel out each other. We get A4 equals 16 plus 6, which is 22. So with this, we can write the arithmetic progression as per this question is the value of A1, which is 4, value of A2, which is 10, then value of A3, which is 16, and the value of A4, which is 22. So these are the first 4 terms of this arithmetic progression. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you find it useful. Remember to like, subscribe, and click on the bell button to get notified of new videos.